So I was talking to some friends about the Alexander technique, and their first question was, well, what is it? I said, well, it's a system of noticing how you respond to stimuli and letting go of those responses that don't serve you. And they said, well, what does that mean? And they gave me kind of other systems where they'd flash an image on a screen and kind of try to reprogram your responses to stimuli. I said, well, we do much of our work in a chair, simply getting in and out of a chair. Like, notice what happens to the head-neck-back relationship. Does the distance between my two hands, does it compress as I get in and out of the chair? Like the stimulus of folding and unfolding the limbs is so sufficient that most people kind of have the head tip back, compress the neck, and compress the whole torso when they get in and out of a chair. So we also work on walking and do a lot of work lying on a table. Ask, well, what's some of your more advanced work? Because I told them I trained for 3 years, 3 hours a day, to teach Alexander technique, and I said it was the same thing. We work on getting in and out of a chair, and reacting to that stimuli of folding and unfolding your limbs. Can you lengthen and widen as you get in and out of a chair? So I just realized then, like how ridiculous that sounded. Like for 3 years, getting in and out of a chair. That's what we're working on. And but as well as my teachers said, almost everything you need to know about the Alexander technique, you can learn getting in and out of a chair. So the stimulus is folding and unfolding your limbs, and then learning to lengthen and widen even as you're going down in space, because the habitual tendency, particularly for those of us in the Western world who sit a lot in chairs, is to kind of compress as you're coming down. And so in Alexander technique, you're learning to lengthen the torso, allow the torso to widen, even if it's just like a centimeter. It makes a big difference to how you feel and your ease of movement. So as an Alexander teacher, I can't always be there with my students. So if I have a student who's a jet fighter pilot, I'm unlikely to go up in the jet fighter with him and put my hands on his head, neck, and try to guide him to a better way of being. Or if I have a student who's a quarterback or a violinist, I can work with as he plays the violin, but not when he performs on stage. But still, almost everything that I want to teach him, I can teach him, just as we learn to get in and out of the chair. Because if he can learn to lengthen and widen as he gets in and out of the chair, and learn to not tip his head back and compress his neck as he responds to that stimulus of folding and unfolding the limbs, then he can take that improved use and those habits of lengthening and widening in reaction to a stimulus and take it into whatever activity he wants. So one of my favorite definitions of the Alexander technique is learning to expand into activity. Because most people compress into activity, whether it's just lifting their hands to the keyboard or lifting up a beer or driving or cooking or doing the dishes. Maybe people kind of slump and pull down as they're doing the activity. And so with Alexander technique, we can learn to expand and have our torso lengthen and widen as we enter into activity. And pretty much all of it could be learned right here in the chair. So one thing that you can do at home is just put a hand on the back of your neck. Notice what happens as you get in and out of a chair. Does the head tip back? Does the neck tighten and compress? And you can put another hand on your lower back, try to get a sense of if the distance between your two hands compresses or even expands as you get in and out of a chair. If it's compressing, then your torso is compressing. If it's expanding, then your torso is lengthening in reaction to the stimulus of getting in and out of a chair.